The Prince of Wales played in the world's first recorded game of baseball on the 12th of September 1749 here in Ashley Park, Walton-on-Thames. What, you say? Especially if you're an American. What are you talking about? Because you're probably thinking sometime in the 1860s, which is 120 years after the event that this plaque records occurred, according to whoever authored this plaque. But who knows? Research it, fellow people. Research it. And as far as I know, the principal research was done by somebody from the United States. And because of the way technology has evolved as researching things, this fellow was in the British Library, and apparently it's a lot easier now to look for things. I mean, there's so much information in these places. In order to sort of go through it page by page, it would take decades probably, right? But apparently with recent technology and all that kind of stuff, I guess the way the information is recorded, probably electronically, page by page or something, and then you use software to look for certain words or however you do it, I guess it's a lot easier to research things and look for things than it was before. And apparently this fella from the USA in the British Library off Euston Road there, next to St. Pancras Station, did indeed discover that in 1749, 12th of September, that event did happen, the world's first recorded game of baseball. Before that, if I remember correctly, the known first recorded game of baseball was something like 1758 or somewhere around there. So that American fella's discovery brought the date about another 9 years older. I mean, they could even be an older record somewhere. It just hasn't been found. Indeed, how about that? And it was here. This is now a cricket ground, appropriately. You can see the what would be the pitch there, I suppose, where they run up and down. And of course, there's no wickets there right now. It's October. I suppose you could play. I mean, it'd be a bit nippy, I suppose. But anyway, so this is a cricket ground now, and which makes sense, really. It does make sense that once upon a time, you could play baseball here, you could play rounders here. I mean, it's a green patch. You could play football here, you could play all sorts of things here. So it does make sense that all those years ago, it's quite possible that they did play a game which evolved into what is now baseball. I mean, some of the rules might have been a little bit different. I mean, you can take any sport, change a couple of rules here and there, and then give it a new name and say that you invented it. It's not a big deal. But anyway, so I'm surprised there aren't like coachloads of American tourists parked in that car park. Might be a bit of a hassle to bring a coach in there, but anyway. But that's what the plaque says, ladies and gentlemen. Could all be a load of nonsense, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, Google it. Because I don't recall the name of this American that did the research, but it wasn't that many years ago. So yeah, it's on Google somewhere, isn't it? And in fact, yeah, this I should say. Did I say where we are? Walton-on-Thames Cricket Club. In fact, when I parked the car, I saw a banner. Just there. Softball. Now, of course, I remember growing up, used to play rounders. And rounders is, I mean, you can see the connection between rounders and baseball for sure. Rounders, you kind of run around in a circle. Baseball, you run around in a diamond, I suppose. But the theory is exactly the same, except in rounders, it was underarm. Whereas, of course, baseball it isn't. And that always put me off rounders, actually. I remember thinking, oh, God, this is for the girls, let's play rugby instead. Because throwing underarm, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right somehow. And maybe that's what happened. All those years ago, somebody took the game of rounders and thought, okay, what am I going to do with this? I want to invent something. Okay, I know, I'll turn, I'll make it a diamond, and the fellas will throw overarm, which it's totally possible, isn't it? Totally possible. And then he probably thought, or she, I got to call it a different name. I can't call it rounders. Oh, I know, I'll call it baseball. That's how this stuff gets invented, isn't it? Sometimes all you got to take is an idea that, something that's already happening of anything. Change it around a bit and give it a new name, and la voila, you've invented it. So anyway, I don't know. Anyway, Walton-on-Thames, where is that? Southwest London, just within the M25. There's a train station here. But and there's as far as I can see, there's nothing else here about that event in 1749. Just that blue plaque there. In fact, I do remember a few months ago, they had something going on here for the weekend, something to do with baseball, cricket, I suppose. And they were part of their advertising was baseball's coming home. So how about that? But then, of course, you wonder about the prince or whoever it was that played it. Where did they get the idea from, right? I mean, did they totally invent it from scratch, or did they take it from something else and change the rules around a little bit? I mean, this stuff kind of gets lost in history, doesn't it? But anyway, so to all you people from North America, you better put Walton-on-Thames Cricket Club on your list of things to do when you next visit London. Bye.